Hi, I'm Ruben Pillado, and this is People in Perspective. On this edition, I have Matthew York. He works with DeJulio Kitchen Design. So, Matthew, what do you like most about your job?
Well, I'm a project manager for DeJulio Kitchen Design. I guess the thing I like the most about that is that I get to work with everybody who touches a product. So vendors, project managers, designers, salespeople. I get to work with essentially everyone in the company.
How long have you been working with DeJulio Kitchen Design?
I actually just returned there about 18 months ago. But before that, I worked for them for 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so 8, 9 years total.
What do you do on a daily basis?
It depends on the day. Part of my job is product management, and the other part is overseeing entire projects. But when I'm working on a product specifically, I'll be spending time with the designer, finding out what types of details they want to see in that product, how they want it to perform, what it should look like, how it should function, and then also working with the vendors to work out who's the best person to purchase the parts from or have the parts manufactured for us, who should be assembling it, how much should we be paying for it, how much should we be selling it for, or all the way down to did we get what we paid for and did the customer get what we promised.
What are you currently working on right now?
Right now we have a lot going on. We have a new line of faucets that just came out for Callista, which is a Kohler company. We have some updates to our sink line for Callista also, and a whole new lighting line that's coming out for Tech Lighting, which is another Chicago-based lighting company.
Do you need a certain degree or higher education to do your job?
It helps, certainly, but my background is not in kitchen design or even interior design. I started out as a set designer for theater, and that kind of led me to TV, and that led me to restaurant design, and that led me to interior design. And so it's just, I've made my way here just based on connections with people over time, but there are degrees. You can get a degree in product management, you can get a degree in kitchen design. So higher education, I'd say the things that I learned in college, I'm definitely applying today.
What colleges did you attend and what classes did you take?
I did my undergrad at University of Iowa, and I did my graduate program at Northwestern, which is what brought me to Chicago. And I actually studied theater the whole time, theater design, but that really includes all of the practical things you need to know about physically designing something, the theoretical things you need to know about, creating something, figuring out a need and filling that need, and art history, referencing what things have looked like or how they have functioned and how that can inform the decisions you're making. So.
And how has COVID affected you and your job?
Probably the biggest impact COVID has had on us is through our supply chain. Because we work with vendors in different states and different countries, they all have different laws. So for a while, Michigan was sort of shut down to anyone who was not an essential worker. So that created sort of a shortage from our metal shop, and Pennsylvania, where some of our millwork comes from, they've had similar restrictions. And so just getting the products that we're already selling is difficult. And then installing projects that we're ready to install. We have a few projects going on in New York City, and it's incredibly difficult to send installers to New York right now. They have to be quarantined and basically allowed to work in the city by the city government.
You said that you came back, you worked there twice. What was the job you were working at when you weren't?
Yeah, actually I before I left, I was working, as a designer and project manager, and then I took a job designing exhibits for museums. So I worked as a design director for a local exhibit design company for about 5 years, and then Mick DiGiulio, the owner, he approached me about coming back in a different role. So my job is a little different than I had before, but it's sort of informed by everything I was doing, before I left.
Yeah, so you prefer working with DiGiulio than your other job?
Yeah, as a company, it's fantastic. It really is sort of a family. The two of the project managers have been there for more than 30 years. Those are the guys who kind of trained me when I started back in 2007. The other designers have both been there for more than 20 years. It's just a great place to work.
Oh, do you have an inspiration at all for why you took this job besides the owner that offered you it?
Yeah, part of it was I really believe in the product, and I really believe in the process there at DiGiulio. I know that because things go wrong, right? So in a kitchen, you might have 1,000 different components. Some of them are going to fail. Some of them are not gonna show up correctly, and things are going to need to be replaced or fixed or tweaked or improved over time. And I appreciate the way that DiGiulio really stands behind everything they do. So I know that we're making the decisions that we're making today, we're making for the right reasons, and that if someone comes back in 5 years or 10 years or 15 or 20 years, that we're going to stand behind that product, and the things we learn that go wrong, we learn from it and we improve going forward. So it's exciting that way, and it feels good to work for someone like that.
What is the biggest project you've had?
Oh, in terms of dollars or in terms of probably $2.5–3 million. Not just for a kitchen. That would be a whole sort of whole house plus type of project. But a lot of our projects are, the average project is maybe $350,000 to $400,000, and up to $2 or $3 million.
All right, thank you for coming on the People in Perspective show. It's great having you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Ruben Pillado, and signing out.